Hi! So today I want to explain some of the terms that you see bandied around a lot on property websites and even just when you're talking to agents and stuff in Ireland. I'm going to go through them really quickly, just short little explanations, but hopefully the next time then you're talking to a property professional or reading a listing, you'll have a little bit better of an idea of what it all means. The next one I want to talk about is POA. So POA stands for price on application. And you see this a lot in houses, especially when you see one in a local area and you're like, oh, I wonder how much that is. And you look on the website and it doesn't say anything, it just says POA. And these houses have a tendency not to be filtered into the main searches because they're not in a specific price band. They're not necessarily set as 0, so they're not coming in as under 10,000. And then you look at it and it's like this mansion and you're like, well, it's not 0. So I can't buy it for 0. These are different. These kind of don't fall into any category and they can be really confusing for buyers. So what it basically means is that you need to contact the agent to find out how much the price is. And one of the main reasons I want to talk to you guys about this is because it's not as off-putting as it sounds. The main thing to remember with a POA is, first of all, it's not always the agent's decision to put a POA on it. It's not a given that they're going, oh, I'll make them all ring me and then I'll use my wily sale techniques and sell the house to them. I've spoken to agents before who have been asked by the sellers to put POA on it because they don't want their neighbours knowing what the house is selling for. They don't want nosy people like me, who I was just talking about a minute ago, going, oh, I wonder how much are they selling that house for. This isn't unheard of for people to want to do this in a private way. So don't be put off if you see a POA, get in touch about it, especially if a lot of the other characteristics of the house make you feel like it could fit into your price band. So let's say it is a semi-derelict house. It's on like an acre of land. It's not got all of its services, or maybe it needs refurbishment inside. These are all really, really good signs. A lot of the time people will put a POA on a house because the price is quite low and they don't want people going, oh, they're selling that really cheap, as opposed to someone who's selling it really, really expensively. So it's totally, totally worth actually getting in touch and finding out what the price is. The next thing I want to talk about is a BER. Now, a BER is a building energy rating. And the best way to explain this is really like, it's like the sticker that comes on appliances when you buy them for your kitchen that has all the little rainbow colours down it, and it tells you how efficient your appliance is when you buy it. It's kind of like that with a house. It was brought in a couple of years ago as a way to help people when they're buying a house to understand how energy efficient the house is. Now, obviously with the houses we look at, they're not all A rated. It goes A to G. Just for the record, they're not all A rated. The G's then would be like the lower end of the scale, but it really doesn't, you're not only buying an A rated house. What it does is it just gives you an idea of what work has been done or how energy efficient the place is going to be without you pulling lumps of the walls off and peeping up into the ceilings and stuff. It's really, really helpful. Now, the thing to remember is that the list of exemptions for BER ratings is very, very small. This is a tiny amount of buildings that are exempt from this. Things like listed buildings are exempt, agricultural buildings, really, really small buildings like that you wouldn't even really class as a house. There are a couple of them that are exempt, but a lot of the time when you look on portals and you see all of these BER exempt, BER exempt, BER exempt on the houses, it's actually just not the case. Like a house that someone doesn't deem as habitable is actually not BER exempt. An old house is not BER exempt. A house that hasn't been lived in for 2 or 3 years is not BER exempt. These are just ways of getting sellers out of paying the €200 or whatever it costs to get a BER rating done on a house. And the thing you have to remember is that by law, every house that is for sale that doesn't fall into those 6 or 7 exemptions has to have a BER rating. So when you see all the exempt ones, especially when you see ones that have front doors and windows and kitchens and bathrooms, they're not BER exempt at all. So push for your BER rating on your house and make the seller pay the money to get the BER rating. It's not a given that every old house is a Z, because there isn't even a Z rating. But like, you just want to know. All you want to know is how much work you're going to have to do. If there's anything done that might be of help to you, stuff like that. So push for it unless it's within that list of things that is exempt, and they're really easy to find online. You can find it on the SCAI's website, they run that, and it just will help you, at least that when you talk to an estate agent, that you feel like you have a little bit of knowledge and power behind you to say, no, actually this isn't exempt, regardless of what kind of hinky goings on you have and you're getting people out spending this money on these houses. It just isn't the case. So BER, Building Energy Rating. There are a world of terms other than these ones that I've just gone through today. I'll gather up some more, I'll do a bit more research, and I'll have another couple back to you in a little while. If you like this type of video and it helps you on your property journey, give me a thumbs up for me. Thank you. And if you don't subscribe, do subscribe. It only takes a second and you'll know when the new videos come out. It's quite hard for me to link to them on Instagram because you can't link from your posts. So you sometimes tend to miss them if you're only checking in with me on Instagram. So if you don't use YouTube, start using it because it's worth your while, even just to learn this sort of stuff. Until next time.